Okay, Mr. McIntosh, um, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine, Judge. Thank you.
That's good. And well, Mr. Coleman, how are you doing?
I'm good, Judge.
Ms. Cawthorn, how you doing? Mr. Dennis, how you doing? And Ms. Lee, how you doing? That's good. Now, Mr. McIntosh, you had previously scheduled this case for a contested hearing, motion to revoke probation hearing. Is that correct?
Judge, I don't remember myself doing it. But from a practical matter, with Mr. Dennis having two more pending cases, I think the prudent thing to do is to uh, allow him to resolve those cases as well. Um, at the same time as also taking care of this MTRP. I have to apologize, Mr. Coleman. I've looked after your staff called me today. Mr. Coleman did email me earlier this week asking me about this, and I totally missed it. I am out of state already, and so what I think would be the prudent thing to do would be to reset this to allow him to resolve his other cases as well. If I need to file motions to withdraw on those cases, I will have my staff do that. If not today, then early next week.
Okay, I think looking at the notes that's on the docket, it states that there's a motion to withdraw in the file in cause number that well, actually, it's the only case that you pointed on, which is cause number 326988.
That's correct, Judge. I've viewed that motion to withdraw. State has no objection to it, Judge.
Do you have it?
Yes, I'm printing it, Judge.
Okay, and we need to get a copy to Mr. Dennis. Now, Mr. Dennis, your attorney in this case, Mr. Charles McIntosh, has previously filed a motion to withdraw. What a motion to withdraw is this. He's asking the court to release him off of this case. And I'll give you a copy of the motion if you haven't already received a copy of it. Stand over there in front of our court coordinator so she can give you a copy.
Thank you. Okay, I'll call right back. You're welcome.
Actually, maybe printed in the back. They didn't give me a copy this morning. The motion in order. Make two copies.
Two copies of the motion.
326988. Okay, we're back in session now. Mr. Dennis, now we're back in session at cause number 326-988. Mr. Dennis, you've just been handed a motion to withdraw that was filed by your attorney, Charles McIntosh. He filed that motion on June 3rd of 2022. And this motion reads as follows. It says, I am legal counsel representing the defendant in the above entitled and number cause. I am leaving Texas and moving to Montana and will be unable to provide sufficient legal counsel to my client. I am seeking permission to withdraw as counsel for the defendant and wish to be relieved of any further professional obligation and responsibility of duty to the defendant. Now, Mr. Dennis, basically your attorney said he's moving out of state and he's unable to adequately or sufficiently represent you as your attorney. And do you have any objections to him? And he's asking to be removed off of your case. Do you have any objections to him being removed off your case? Okay. So, Mr. McIntosh, I'm going to sign this order allowing you to withdraw as counsel in this case. And you are current, I've just signed the motion, so you're relieved from your professional responsibilities and duties and obligations to Mr. Dennis in cause number 326-988. So, Mr. McIntosh, you're free to go and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, Judge. And so I'm not on his two other cases.
You never was appointed on the other two cases.
Okay, that's what I thought. I just want to make sure I didn't need a felony on those two. Okay,
No,
thank you, Judge.
Okay, you're welcome. You have a blessed day.
You too.
Okay, and be safe out there in Montana.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay. Now, Mr. Dennis, could you hand him a document? It's a judge's explanation of rights to defendants without attorney. Mr. Dennis, that document that you've just been handed, I'm going to go over that document with you. And that document states, as a defendant in a criminal case, you have three options. Now, the three options is regarding your right to have an attorney. Number one, you may hire an attorney. Do you understand that option? Number two, if you do not have enough money to hire an attorney, you may request an attorney be appointed to represent you. Do you understand that option? Number three, you may represent yourself. Do you understand that option? If you want an attorney to represent you and have enough money to hire an attorney, the case will be reset to give you time to do so. If you want an attorney and do not have the money to hire one, you will need to fill out a financial questionnaire so that the proper person can determine whether or not to appoint an attorney to represent you. You may not speak to the prosecutor about your case unless you sign a written waiver of your right to be represented by an attorney. Be aware that there are dangers to self-representation. Waiving your right to an attorney and representing yourself may result in a worse outcome for you and your case, including the loss of significant legal rights and opportunities relating to military service, possession of a firearm, housing and public benefits, child custody, immigration status for non-citizens, and employment. If you choose to proceed without an attorney, you may change your mind at any time and may request counsel from the court. At the bottom of that document, it states, defendant's choice, mark initials next to only one choice. If your choice is, I want to reset this case to hire my own attorney, then you place your initials on the first line to the left. If you have already hired an attorney to represent you in this case, then you'll place your initials on the second line to the left and the name of the attorney on the line to the right. If your choice is, I want to apply for a court-appointed counsel, then you'll place your initials on the third line to the left. If you've already been appointed a court-appointed counsel in this case, you will place your initials on the fourth line to the left and the name of the attorney on the line to the right. If your choice is, I want to waive my right to an attorney and represent myself, then you'll place your initials on the fifth line to the left. Now, once you have finished initialing one of the 5 lines, you will sign on the line that says defendant, and you will date it today's date, and today's date is June 17th of 2022. Do you understand? Okay, you can make your choice. Look, you have a question?
So they said that I want to talk to him. Is there any way that I can talk to him and still?
Well, if you read the document, 2 things, that's the last sentence in the document. it says, if you choose to proceed without an attorney, you may change your mind at any time and may request counsel from the court. Do you understand that? Okay, so if you're choosing to proceed without an attorney, then you will have to sign a written waiver. It's on page 2, waiving your right. And then once you do that, the sentence, the third sentence that say you may speak to the prosecutor about your case, or you may not speak to the prosecutor about your case unless you sign a written waiver of your right to be represented by an attorney. And the written waiver is the second document. Okay? So do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead and make your choice. Oops. Trina. Yes. Let's see. And what did he say? Okay. Now, Mr. We have to give him a waiver.
I did.
Oh, now, Mr. I'm gonna go over this with you too. Okay, Mr. Dennis. The document that you have in your hand is titled Waiver of Counsel for Purposes of Entering a Guilty Plea or Proceeding to Trial. And it reads, I have been advised of the nature and charges against me and the dangers and disadvantages of self-representation. My waiver is voluntarily and intelligently made. Furthermore, I have been advised the 17th day of June 2022 by the County Court at Law Number 2 of my right to representation by counsel in the case pending against me. I have been further advised that if I am unable to afford counsel, one will be appointed for me free of charge. Understanding my right to have counsel appointed for me free of charge if I'm not financially able to employ counsel, I wish to waive that right and request the court to proceed with my case without an attorney being appointed for me. I hereby waive my right to counsel. And if that's your choice, then you will sign on the line where it says defendant, and you would date it today's date, June 17, 2022. Okay? So this time,